welcome back to Arctic Scavengers. We're playing the base game. I have shuffled the decks thoroughly and I have dealt 5 cards for each hand. We have one hand here in the middle for Krag and one hand over here for Owlbear. Owlbear has the initiator card. He will be beginning. So we're going to zoom down in his area and we are going to start taking turns with Owlbear. So we're going to do Owlbear, me, Krag, and so on, and we'll just keep going until we get to the third round. In the third round, we're going to have a fight to see who gets the top card of the contested resource deck. All right, so I'm going to zoom down a little bit here with Owlbear, and he's going to take his turn. All right, so Owlbear's had a look at his cards, and he informs me that he is going to use his refugee. And I'll show you how this works. The refugee, in and of himself, really does nothing. He has a 0 on his shovel, a 0 on food gathering, but he can use a shovel and a tool that has food gathering. So he's going to use the spear to gather 1 food, and the scavenger has basically 1 of each. He's also going to use 1 food. So Owlbear is going to play those cards into his discard pile to gather 2 food. And with 2 food, Owlbear is going to purchase a brawler. Brawlers cost 2 food. So yep, gearing up for the smackdown already. Well, he's pretty violent, so it's kind of what he's doing. The next thing that he is going to do is he has 2 other scavengers in his hand. And remember, you can do each one of these actions once. You could draw a card only once. You can dig in the junk pile 1 time. You can recruit 1 member hunting for food, and you can when we get into the skirmish mode for contested resources, we can put people into the contested resource allocation area for the fight. So with this 2 scavengers, he's able to dig twice in the junkyard. So how does that work? Let's go over to the junkyard and I'll explain. Okay, so however many shovel symbols you have, that's how many cards you can draw off the top of the junkyard pile. Now what Owlbear is going to do is look at those 2 cards. So I'll hand them over to him. He has a look at them. He's going to take one of them if he wants, and he doesn't have to show anyone else what it is, and he takes the rest, in this case 1 card, and puts it on the bottom of the junkyard pile. Another thing he could have done, but he used his refugee, is you can take any card you want and put it on top of the junkyard deck, and then at the end, or immediately after you do that, you reshuffle the junkyard deck, which will then include, of course, the cards you've discarded. All right, that is going to conclude Owlbear's turn. He's played all of his cards. Next, we're going to jump over to me, and then Krag is going to go last. So zoom out a little bit, and we'll take a look at my cards and make some decisions of what we're going to do. All right, so our deck's right here, again shuffled, and we're going to take a look at our 5 cards. So we have our brawler, we have a shovel, we have 1 scavenger, 1 refugee, and a spear. So we have a whole lot of everything. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to take the scavenger, and he's going to go hunt for food. And we're going to take the refugee, and he's going to use the spear and also hunt for food. So we're copying basically what Owlbear has done. And I'm going to make my discard on the left. So we're going to play those. And with 2 food, we are going to recruit a brawler. We don't want to get left behind in the fight department. But this time we have our brawler and we have a shovel. When you put these 2 together, you can see we have the brawler can dig, so he's +2 for the shovel and 1 for the brawler. So that is 3 cards that we're going to be able to take off the top of the junk pile. So let's go ahead and grab 3 cards off the top. Yeah, we won't show anyone else, so turn around, you're not looking. And what do we have? We have found a pickaxe and junk. So obviously we will keep the pickaxe. It's a tool. It gives a +1 for digging in the junk pile, and it gives a +2 for combat. So this is pretty good. So what we do, of course, is we just hide that in our discard pile. The other 2 cards are going to go on the bottom of the junk pile deck. All right, that's our first turn. And I should say we always should have a hand of 5 cards. So Owlbear, because we started with 10 cards, of course, is going to have 5. We have 5 left. That's going to be our new hand. So after we're finished, we drop to our new hand. And now we'll readjust the camera a little bit, and we're going to go to Krag. All right, so Krag's had a look at his cards, and the first thing he's going to do is he's going to take a card, we don't know what it is, and he's going to throw it on top of the junk pile. And of course, the second we do that, we must shuffle the junk pile. So we're just going to give it a good shuffle, and then it's going to go back onto the junk pile card for later use. All right, and that can happen. He probably, if he was going to dig, should have done it first, because maybe he'll get it back again, but this is the order he's decided to do things. All right, next up, he is going to take one refugee with a spear, along with a refugee with a spear, along with one scavenger to get himself 2 food, and I think we know what he's going to be doing. Doesn't want to get left behind in the fight department, so he's going to recruit a brawler, and with his last card, he is a scavenger. He is going to use that to dig in the junkyard. So he goes ahead and grabs 1 card, because he only has 1 tool, or one scavenger, or 1 dig icon shovel to do that. So he takes a look at the card, and he has an option here. He can put it on the bottom of the junkyard pile, or he can take it, which he's going to do, and he's going to hide it in his discard so nobody knows what it is. And of course, he draws up to 5 cards again. And that's basically the whole first turn. So we're going to start on the second turn now. Owlbear is still the initiator. So let's go ahead and do another turn. Okay, once again, Owlbear has looked at his cards and he's made a decision. He is going to take a refugee with the shovel for giving him 2 dig, and he's going to take his brawler to also dig. So he's going to get 3 cards that he's going to be able to pull out of the, and this is still his hand, out of the junkyard pile. So you take 3 cards off the top of the junkyard pile. He's going to secretly have a look at them, and he is going to decide what he wants. And so he is going to take this card, and he's going to put the other 2 back on the bottom of the junkyard pile. So this we're not going to see. It's going to go underneath here and be hidden. And now Owlbear is going to take these 2 cards, which we're not going to look at, and he's going to put them into the junkyard pile. So they're going to go on top. And again, when you do that, the deck is immediately given a good shuffle, and that is what we do with the junkyard deck. So he's gone ahead and gotten rid of 2 cards. So he's paring down his hand a little bit. And I will do this off camera, but now he would draw up to 5 cards. So we're going to go ahead and shuffle his cards up, make a draw deck and give him 5 cards. Next we go over to us. Okay, so over to us, and of course we are on our second hand. We have a refugee, a scavenger, a refugee, a scavenger, and a refugee. So we don't have a lot of options here in reality. We can scare up 2 food just from the 2 scavengers, and we can get rid of some of our refugees if we don't want to hang on to them. And I think we're going to do that. We're going to spend the 2 scavengers to generate 2 food, and we're going to get another brawler. We're going heavy on the fighting, and we're just going to discard 1 refugee back into our pile. And we're going to take these 2 refugees, which of course Owlbear and Krag don't know about, stick them on top of the contested resource deck, and we're going to give that a good shuffle so it gets all shuffled up, so nobody knows where those refugees ended up, but they're in the junkyard somewhere hanging out, hoping that someone will pick them up eventually. Now they are worth 1 point at the end of the game because they are a tribe member, so you're kind of throwing some points away in the hopes of getting higher points with some of the contested resource, which are higher point tribe member cards are in there. There are 6 of them. All right, over to Krag for his last of the second turn. All right, so Krag has looked at his cards, and he is going to go digging in the junkyard. So he's hanging on to those 2, and he's going to use his brawler with a shovel and a scavenger. So he's got 4. So he's going to be able to take the top 4 cards off the junkyard deck, 2, 3, 4, have a look at them, and he'll be able to choose 1 of them to keep, the others to throw away. And so he is going to be discarding those 3, and he's going to be taking this one, which of course nobody sees but him, into his discard pile. These are going to go on the bottom of the scrapyard deck, and he's going to take these two and throw them into the scrapyard. So of course that means we're going to have to shuffle. So I'll do that offline. He's going to have to reshuffle his deck and get 5 cards. Then we're going to go to Owlbear. This is going to be the start of round 3, and now we are going to be fighting over contested resources. All right, so this is Owlbear's hand that he's taking a look at. And the first thing he's going to do, he still has 4 cards. He's going to take 1 card and he's going to throw it into the junkyard and just get rid of it. So we're going to be doing some shuffling here again. And then he's thinking about the other 4 cards that he has. And now this time we're going to be fighting over the contested resources. And Owlbear is going to commit 4 cards. And I'm just going to put them crosswise up here to the fight. So when we... he gets to look at the top card of the contested resource deck to see what it is. And then decide how many cards he's going to commit. So he's going ahead and doing that. He is going to commit 4 cards to the skirmish. And we're just going to leave it there. And now it's over to us to see what we're going to do. Committing 4 cards. Wow, that is pretty nasty. Let's see what we have. We have a refugee, a scavenger, a shovel, a pickaxe, and a spear. So we've got lots of tools. But we only have a scavenger. He's the only one that can use any of these tools. Wow, this is pretty sad. And I have 4 cards from Owlbear into the contested resource. We just are not probably going to be able to, unless he's bluffing, are not probably going to be able to win that battle. So you know what we're going to do? I think we're going to take the refugee with the shovel, and we're going to take, let's draw a card. Scavenger lets you draw cards. We're going to play that card. We're going to draw 1 card, and that's our draw action. Ooh, this may change things up. We just picked up the brawler, but still the refugee can't fight. But if we put the brawler with the pickaxe into the fight, which I think we're going to do, we'll commit 2 cards to the fight. That leaves us with the refugee can either dig in with a shovel or get 1 food using the spear. So with 1 food we could recruit another scavenger, but with the shovel we could dig twice into the junk pile. So we have a decision to make. I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to dig. So we're going to dig 2 cards at the top of the junk pile deck. We look at them, we get another pickaxe. Well, that's okay. And we're going to put that down here so nobody but us can see it. This is going to go back to the bottom of the junkyard deck. So that wasn't too extremely good for us. We have a couple cards here. And now it's over to Krag. All right. Krag is got a master plan. He's going to commit 2 cards to the upcoming skirmish. And his other 3 cards, he's got pretty good. He found a med kit apparently. So he has 2 food and he has 2 meds. And that's going to allow him to recruit, wow, either group leaders or a sniper team. Or he can recruit a scout. He basically can recruit just about anything he wants. But I think he's going to recruit group leaders because it gives you a +2 bonus on every other character you play can add this to them, and a tool. Because as an action, any action may be enhanced by both this group leader cards and a tool. So if you had multiple group leaders, you can even stack them together as well as a tool. So a refugee could use this for 2 and a shovel and have like +4 for digging in the junkyard. So that's a very good card to get. And he's committed 2. So now what do we do? Now it is contested resource time. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit. We're going to flip over all the cards from our deck, Krag's deck, Owlbear's deck, and we're going to see who has the most fight. And fight is that icon down here with the little crossed knives at the bottom. And whoever has the highest number of fight is going to win the contested resource. If there's a tie, then there's a way to break the tie. But we'll get into that. If it happens, I'm going to zoom out. We're going to take a look at each of the cards and see who has what. All right, so I'm not sure how easy this is to read or see, but starting with Owlbear, Owlbear has a brawler using a spear. It's going to be 4 for attack. He has a scavenger using the shovel. So he has a total attack of 2, 4, 5, 6. Krag here has 2 brawlers for a total attack of 4. And we have a brawler using a pickaxe, also with an attack of 4. So Owlbear has 6. He's clearly in the lead for banging heads. So he gets to claim the contested resource, the top card, that he had looked at off the contested resource deck, and he's going to place that on the bottom of his discard pile so nobody else can see it. And now the initiator card is going to move over to us, because that's kind of the cyclic order. So we will be the initiator for the next round. And so everyone puts their discard pile. Krag, not happy. But hey, we weren't happy either. Contested resources, of course, are very good, and you want them. Let me zoom out, and I think we're going to call this an episode. All right, well, that's part 1 after our introduction and setup of Arctic Scavengers. There are 14 contested resources. One of them has already been claimed by Owlbear. So we're going to basically have 13 more rounds left in the game, and it will be over. And then, of course, we're going to be counting, if you look at the bottom of the card, the total number of tribe members in each pile. And whichever character has the most tribe members is going to be the winner. All right, that's Arctic Scavengers. This is the base game. There's lots of other variety if you look at the 2 expansions. But I'm just playing a base game here to show you kind of how it works. And we'll do a final tally of points when we get to the end. Of course, we're fighting against Owlbear and Krag the Klingon. So far, I'm not sure how we're doing. Owlbear scooped up that contested resource fairly handily, but there are lots of rounds left. All right, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Join me next time for the continuation of Arctic Scavengers, the base game, where I'm taking on Owlbear and Krag. Thanks so much for watching, and join me next time.